Testing, testing. One, two, three. Hello, Potential Breed today, and welcome to another tier list. We haven't done one in a minute. I forgot what the last one we did. I think it was like Disney movies and shows or whatever. But anyway, what's the word? It just crossed my mind, and I talked about it in like the few of the Kingdom Hearts streams now. So I was like, you know what? I might as well just make a tier list on it. So we are going to be ranking the Disney live action remakes. Now, I haven't watched all of them, but I've watched a good majority of them. And as we all know, as most of us know, Disney doesn't really always do a good job on these. And by always, I mean, yeah, some of them be bad. There are some where, like, they implement new things or, like, they'll change certain things where it's like, dog, why did you change that? Or sometimes there'll be a good change, but it all depends on the movie. Now, obviously, I have a haven't seen list, so that's gonna be there, and then absolute garbage, which there are some that are just automatically going in there because no, they were just so bad. And granted, Moana, the live action, just came out this month, so yeah, um, it's in this section. Just letting y'all know. I'm never going to watch that movie because from what I've seen, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, it's not even like a curiosity one. Like, no. Like, the only one, there's one I haven't seen, which is Snow White, which I do want to watch, but I want to watch it with some friends so we can laugh. But I am curious about it, though. So I do actually want to watch that movie. I might just bite the bullet and watch it by myself one of these days, but for now, yeah. But anyway, let's get on to it. This, I don't know what this is. I don't know why this is here because, like, the actual live action is right here, so I'm not counting this. I don't know why this is here. 101 Dalmatians. Now, I actually haven't seen this one, so I'm gonna put in haven't seen. I vaguely remember this movie, but I don't remember it too well, so we're gonna go to haven't seen. Alice in Wonderland. Now, I remember watching this in theaters. I didn't think it was bad. Like, I didn't mind the movie, like, the whole, like, oh, she is in the prophecy to slay the Jabberwocky thing. But, they had the whole, the cake makes her big, the drink makes her small shit. And, you know, it's a weird movie, I will admit. Obviously, Alice in Wonderland, haha. But I don't think it was bad. So I'm gonna put it at a C. Because I don't think it was a bad movie. Listening while driving, so I can't really type in chat. I appreciate you being here though, Pookie. Love you. But I hope I make your drive better. Lurking. Hold on, let me make sure the phone, you can't hear my phone. Okay. But yeah, Alice in Wonderland, I don't think it was a bad movie. I think I actually enjoyed it. Now the second one though. I haven't watched the second one, but I've heard it's really bad. But yeah. Maleficent. Now, this is like a, I don't know, I would say I'm kind of like in the middle with this one. Now, I actually enjoyed the movie. Obviously, though, I would say a big thing about this, though, is like, obviously, if I'm getting a movie about Maleficent, I would assume that, she's gonna be Maleficent, like evil and shit. And it's like, I don't know. On the one hand, like, I like that the take that they do, like, explaining her backstory and how she becomes who she is. But it's just the fact, too, that, again, they make her pretty much the hero when, again, she's supposed to be the villain. Like, I'm putting it at a B, because although that is a major thing, because, again, if I'm watching Maleficent, I'm not watching it like granted, even when the movie came, like when they announced it, and like you think that she's gonna be the villain, but I remember when like I think my friend had went to go watch the movie, and he's like, yeah, no, she is the good guy in this movie, and I'm like, what? It's just I don't know how to describe it. Like I like the movie, like trust. I really like the movie. It's a movie I actually will like rewatch. Like if someone's like, "Yo, you want to watch Maleficent?" I'm like, "Sure, put that shit on." But again, it is like why is she the good guy? And like especially too like the storylines that they change, like oh, like granted, yes, like with the backstory and stuff. Obviously, again, this you're what's the word? You're gonna be on Maleficent's side. That's the whole point of the movie. It's kind of like I don't know. Like, I don't know if y'all remember that show You on Netflix. Like, even though, like, our main character is pretty much, like, the bad guy. But, like, the show makes you low key, like, root for him, you know? And, because you're seeing things from his perspective. So, like, it makes you want to root for this guy, even though realistically you shouldn't because he's actually a horrible person. But, it's pretty much, like, they kind of did it, but also didn't because again, they made her a hero at the end, and then obviously they changed it. Like the three fairies that take her, like take Aurora to go in, like to, what's the word, to escape from Maleficent's curse, and it's like Maleficent finds them right away, so it's already like what the fuck. Number two, they're very like irresponsible and like pretty much shit parents, like shit guardians, and again, yeah. And then Maleficent bonding with Aurora as she grows up and pretty much becoming her mother figure. And it's like I feel like it would have hit harder had it been like Maleficent was growing attached to her and then she's like, no, like I can't, like I've been down this road before, and she just stuck to her guns, and then the whole like final act plays out like how it plays in the original movie. I feel like that would have hit harder because it would have been like what could have been, like a what could have been type of story. Like, I feel like again that would have hit harder, but no, it didn't. And then the whole thing with I mean, granted, I am glad, like again we are straying away from this, like we're straying away from the oh she met him once and all of a sudden they're in love, like that type of shit. I'm glad we are straying away from that with Disney movies now, but again, the whole like oh the prince's kiss didn't work, but Maleficent kissing her did. Like, yeah, no, absolutely not. Like, again, it's a movie where like I'm like, okay, this is a different universe because obviously this isn't my Maleficent, and Maleficent's one of my favorite villains. Keyword villain. So yeah, stay a villain, please. But I think it's an enjoyable movie. Like again, I will. Anyone asks me, yo, you want to watch Maleficent? I'll be like, fuck yeah, let's go. But I've been lingering a bit too much on this movie. Let's move on to the next one. Cinderella. Now, I'll put it at a C. C for Cinderella. But, what's the word? There are things I like about this movie and things I don't like about this movie. One, why don't the rats talk? Like, you see Cinderella interacting with them, and it kind of seems like she can talk to them. But, realistically, it looks like she's just fucking schizophrenic or some shit, because, like, why can't we hear the rats talking? One. There you go. Two. Well, again, that's one of the things I dislike about the movie. A thing I do like about this movie is that, I like the fact that we get to see her meeting the prince before the ball. That I really liked. Like, that was a big aspect of the movie, which is, instead of the whole, oh, she meets him at the ball and falls in love with him. Like, no, she actually gets to know him and he gets to know her. Like, I liked that a lot. That's a big thing I liked about the movie. Another thing that I didn't realize till I watched a review of the movie, which I do agree with, is that, what's the word? Cinderella does cry twice in this movie instead of, like, the big, scene where, like, they rip her dress and then she goes to cry. Like, granted, if I were in the situation that she was in, yeah, I'd be probably crying more than once. But there's, like, this scene where, like, like she had made their food or whatever, and she was about to add her plate to the table that they were all sitting at, and they're like, "Oh no, you don't have to sit with us. You can sit like in your attic or basement or whatever the hell you are at." And pretty much they're like, "Yeah, no, you can't sit with us. You're not part of the family." And pretty much like them showing her like that she's not part of them, like she's not a part of the family, and she like breaks down and cries, which understandably so. Like shit, I'd be, yeah. And but then later on, that scene that happens in the in the original, where they rip her dress and then she goes to cry, happens, but it's like I already had my emotional scene with her earlier. So like I'm not really feeling as much right now because she already did her whole big cry earlier. The whole emotional scene earlier, like another thing too is that obviously I'm pretty much like listing more so the cons than the pros, but I do like this movie. Like I would be down to watch it again. Like if someone's like, "Yo, you want to watch the live action Cinderella?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah." Which one? Cuz there's so many. But obviously Disney wise, this is their live action. But you catch what I'm saying. Another thing though is that like during the scene, when the stepmother locks her in her room while the prince while the guy comes with the fucking slipper, she just kind of gives up. She's like, "Well, I've done all I can do." It's like, "Huh?" And like she's just sitting there like by the window, like just singing, but very faintly. Meanwhile, the rats are trying to like be like, "Yo, bro, like we gotta do something, like there's your slipper." And then a different thing they changed from the movie is that obviously the stepmother, like she did in the original, figures out that it was Cinderella who went to the ball, but she finds the other glass slipper that Cinderella had and breaks it. So there is no, she comes down the stairs before the prince leaves and is like, "Oh, it's me. I try it on," and then the stepmother breaks the other one that the guy has, and then she's like, "Oh, I have the other one." They pretty much like removed that scene pretty much, and basically what ends up happening instead is that they're like, "Are you sure there's no one else here?" They're like, "Nope, no one else lives here, just us." And then I don't know, the rats or the birds, I forget, like managed to open like the window that she's at, and they hear her singing, so they're like, "Oh, there is someone else in here." And then yeah, they find her, she tries to slip her on, and yay, happily ever after, whatever the fuck. But it's like, why? Like again, especially after everything she's been through, you telling me she's giving up? She's like, "Well, I know I met this guy that I really like, but you know what they say, dreams a wish your heart makes, but only when you're fast asleep." Let me stop. But yeah, but otherwise though, like her dress looks beautiful in the movie. I'm gonna be honest though, I'm not really a big fan of the actor that they chose for the fairy godmother. Because if you guys don't know, I don't remember the actress's name, but she plays like Bellatrix in the Harry Potter series. That's my only like major thing I know like that she's done. But yeah, I don't think that was like I don't think that was a good acting like casting choice personally, but otherwise like the movie's fine. Like it's an alright movie. Like I would be down to watch. And the little changes, although granted, the what's the word? The one change they did that I think was really well done is again her meeting the prince and getting to know him before the ball. Like that was actually really well done. But anyway, I've been lingering on this movie too long. I don't think it's bad. I'd be down to watch it again. The Jungle Book. Now, I actually think The Jungle Book, I don't know if I should put it in B or A, because I actually really liked this live action remake of The Jungle Book. And my thing is, though, I'm like, do I do B or A? Because I don't know if it's on the, I'm going to stick with B. Because I'm like, I don't know if it's on the same level as Maleficent, but you know what? It is for me. Because, what's the word? One of my major gripes, well, let me. The Jungle Book, my thing is, though, with certain live-action movies, especially the ones that deal with animals, I don't think are always, like, a good idea. Because of the fact that, again, when you're making a movie with animals, again, in animation, it works better because, you know, you can make like facial expressions for the animals. You know, like during that scene in like The Lion King, like in the original when, you know, Mufasa dies and Simba's like, "Dad, get up. You gotta get up, Dad." You know, like it hits, especially with, you know, Simba's facial expressions and the tears coming from his eyes. Like, yeah, like, damn! You know? But in live action, it's like, again, you can't really do that with, again, real life animals, because, you know, real life animals don't really have the, you know, the faces to be making expressions like that. So it's like, um, you know, like, it's like kind of like my argument with anime dubs is that, um, they can't convey the emotions as well as like the Japanese actors, you know? Like to me it just don't hit the same. But I digress. But anyway, with the Jungle Book, even though I with the animals it's still kind of I did like it was still like, you know, it's pretty much like page to page from the animation movie, which is what, you know, pretty much we want from these live action remakes. We just want them to be, you know, the same movie but live action, you know? But one of my major things I like about this movie is the ending because they change the ending from the original movie. Now, if you guys haven't watched the original Jungle Book, in the original movie, the whole plot of the movie is that, oh, Mowgli is like this little man cub that they find on a boat or whatever, and he gets raised by these wolves who take him in. But then later on, Shere Khan, which is the tiger and the villain of this movie, finds out about his existence and is like, "Oh, I don't like." He doesn't like humans, pretty much. Like, I'll go over and like kill that motherfucker, pretty much. And they're like, "Oh, we can't let that happen. We have to take him to the man village where he'll be safe." So he goes on this journey to like with what I forgot what his name was, the panther. I forget his name, but the panther who found him when he was like a man cub. I mean, you know, a baby, whatever the. I'm saying man cub. I'm like, he was a fucking baby, but but yeah, found him when he was a baby, and they go through the jungle, and he's like, I'm gonna take you to the man village. And throughout the entire movie, Mowgli's like, oh, I don't want to go to the man village. I want to stay in the jungle. I can handle myself. Blah 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 blah. And then obviously there's things that happen in the movie that kind of prove that he really can't, because, you know, yeah, like yada yada. But then eventually he faces off against Shere Khan, defeats Shere Khan, and, you know, proves to Baloo, which is the bear that he ends up befriending in the movie, and the panther, which again I forgot his name, proves to them like, oh, you can handle yourself in the jungle, blah blah blah. So you don't have to go to the man village. In the original movie, again, we get to that, but then Mowgli hears and sees a girl singing by the river and chooses to leave for a girl. And, like, I know, like, he's never seen a human girl before, so I'm pretty sure it's all new and the hormones are activating. But, like, you telling me, Mowgli, you again, this entire movie, you've been saying that, oh, I don't want to leave the jungle, I don't want to go to the man village, I can handle myself, I want to stay here with my family and my friends and blah, 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 blah. You telling me you're gonna leave your wolf family that raised you for a girl? No! I remember that shit pissed me off, because I'm like, dog, that's your family for this random girl that you don't even know. And you know what's crazy? There is a sequel called The Jungle Book 2. And him and that girl constantly fight in that movie. So, you left the jungle and your wolf family and Baloo and the panther for no reason. No reason. Because you constantly fight with this girl. So, yeah. Absolute nonsense in my opinion. Absolute dumbass ending in my opinion. Because, like, what the fuck? You know, like, what the fuck? But in the live action, they rectify that ending. Mowgli, I think pretty much like the live action version, he kills Shere Khan. Motherfucker is dead. Cause in the original, he like ties like a branch with that's like on fire to Shere Khan, and Shere Khan runs away. He doesn't die. But in this movie, I'm pretty sure, like, from what I remember, because it's been a while since I've watched this live action one, Mowgli makes sure that Shere Khan is dead. Motherfucker is 6 feet below. Or ashes, I forget, because he ends up lighting the whole jungle on fire by accident. But, yeah, no, Shere Khan is dead. Dead by the end of this movie. No risk for a sequel, thank God. But yeah. But yeah, it's like one of my major, like, pros for this movie. And one of the reasons why I like it so much is because, again, they rectified that ending. Which is great. Because, again, Mowgli stays in the jungle at the end of this movie. There is no girl. It's him and his day ones. Yeah. One little gripe I will say about this movie, though, is that in the original, because obviously they had, I don't know if y'all remember the snake with like the colorful eyes that like hypnotizes people. In the original, the snake is here too, but in the original, the snake is male and is voiced by Winnie the Pooh. Now I know it sounds weird because you're like, huh? But it works. Trust. Like, it's really well done. In the live action, they changed the snake to a girl, and the snake is voiced by Scarlett Johansson. I personally am not a big fan of that choice that they did, but for the most part, like I'll deal with it. Like, I'll still watch the movie. I'm just not a big fan of that. But otherwise, again, the movie is done super well. I'm glad that they like, of all the changes they made, like, like with all these live action remakes, this is the best one. This is like a change that it's like, yeah, I can take it. Like, I'm down for it. 100%. But anyway, we've been lingering on the Jungle Book for a little bit too long. Alice Through the Looking Glass. Now, I actually haven't seen this movie. I've heard, though, that it's kind of bad. From what I know, like, the plot is basically that, she goes back to Wonderland, and the Mad Hatter is sad because, like, he remembered his family that died. You remember the fucking, the backstory that he had in the first movie? But he's sad, so they what's the word? They basically fuck with time to, try to make sure his family doesn't die, but then a whole bunch of stuff happens, and yada yada, and, like, it's just... From a review that I've seen of the movie, yeah, it does not seem worth my time. Get it? Because it deals with time. Haha. But yeah, no. From what I've heard, it ain't. No. Beauty and the Beast. I'm about to put it at D. Cause, what's the word? I don't know. I wouldn't watch this again. Like, if you told me, yo, you want to watch the live-action version of Beauty and the Beast? I'd be like, fuck no. What is wrong with you? Get out of my sight. But anyway. But what's the word? Yeah, no. Like, and especially, again, the actress they chose for Belle. Like, look. I like Emma Watson in Harry Potter. She does very well in that movie. In those movies. But Emma Watson can't sing. That's one. And during the scenes where she sings in the movie, it's auto-tune. And you can tell it's auto-tune. Yeah. Enough said. But I don't know. It's just like the only thing that, like, it's personally not a song that I enjoy, but I can see why it was enjoyed by other people. But basically, like, they add this new song for the Beast in this movie. Like, after Belle leaves, like, to go tend to her father because he's dying in the snow or fucking whatever. And it's called Evermore. Now, granted, I'm not an avid enjoyer of the song, but I can see why people liked the song. You know, it's like, from what I remember of the song, it's like, and now I know she'll never leave me. You know, I don't know the rest, but I just remember it was called Evermore. I can see why people liked it. But for the most part, though, especially like, again, I heard like with the, the dress, the iconic yellow dress was done like not that well in this movie, and it was because of Emma Watson. Like, she was like, oh yeah, no, I don't like the dress like this, it has to be like this or whatever. And it's like, how are you gonna ruin an iconic dress? Like, come on, bro. And like, what's crazy, I don't know if y'all ever heard of the show Once Upon a Time, but it involves the fairy tales and all that schmiz, and Belle is in that show, and they have like the iconic, like, the scene, the tale is all this time, believe in friends, and again, but yeah, the Beauty and the Beast song. Yeah. Um But yeah, in that show, they did the thing, and they had the dress, and the dress looks like it came straight from the fucking movie, like the original movie. So it's like, how is it that this show did a better job than y'all? Disney. But yeah, it's just, no. I'm not a big fan. No. Would not rewatch it. No. I'm good. I'll watch the original, thank you. But anyway. Christopher Robin. I have not seen this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not really a big Winnie the Pooh fan. Like, I used to be watching, like, them other movies. Or, like, what's the word? Tigger's Big Movie. No, that's not what it's called. But it's like Tigger's movie or something like that. Or, like, Piglet's Big Movie. And, the Heffalump movie. And I'm trying to remember if any other... But yeah, I used to be tearing them shits up. Like, I used to love them shits. I'm like, yeah, put it on again. But yeah, no, I'm otherwise, though, I'm not really big into Winnie the Pooh. I'm gonna be honest with you. Especially, like, in Kingdom Hearts. Like, that shit be killing me. I'm gonna make sure that the audio isn't echoing from my phone. Just want to make sure real quick. Alright, we are Gucci. I just wanted to make sure. Anyway. But yeah, Dumbo! I have not seen. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Nor do I care to see it. Because I'm like, I bet you they probably butchered that one scene where he goes to see his mom. I don't even know if that scene's in the movie. But I also heard, like, in this movie, like, he bonds with, like, the kids or whatever, and it's like, that wasn't in the fucking original. Why the fuck would y'all do that? But I don't know, because I haven't seen it, nor do I ever plan to. Unless I do, like, a whole, like, oh, let's watch all the Disney live-action remakes. But I don't think I'm gonna do that. Aladdin! I cannot stand this movie, alright? I'm not gonna put it in garbage, because I don't think it's that bad. But y'all, when I tell you, I cannot stand this movie. What pisses me off even more is that my fiance prefers this over the original, which is like, what the hell is wrong with you? 'Cause no. Like, you must be on crack or something, 'cause no. Now, my thing is, personally, this is, again, a personal thing. I hate that they casted Will Smith as the fucking genie. Like, of all the casting choices, like, in these movies, I think that was the absolute worse than Emma Watson, worse than the fairy godmother in Cinderella. This, by far, in my opinion, is the worst casting choice they could have done for any of these live action movies. Because, I don't know, like, I don't got nothing against Will Smith, but No, and it's not because he's black. Just to let y'all know, it's not because of that. Just no. Like y'all could have got like I would have taken what's his name from, I forget his name. It's like Adam something. I forget, but like that, he's been in movies and he's like a comedian. But I forget his name. It's like Adam something. Adam Sandler. I think that's what I'm thinking of. I would have preferred him. Like, no. Like, absolutely not. Like, I think it was a terrible casting choice in my opinion, and I'm not a big fan, especially his renditions of Friend Like Me and Prince Ali. No. And like, granted, realistically, no matter who they would have chosen for like the genie in this movie, nothing will ever top Robin Williams' Friend Like Me or Prince Ali. Like, obviously, no matter who they chose, they were never going to top Robin Williams' rendition of those songs. But again, I just don't think Will Smith was the correct choice they could have made for this movie. Personally, that's just my opinion. That's my opinion! But anyway, but yeah, no, I don't think that was the best choice for this movie. Like, I would have taken anybody else. But I digress. But for the most part, there are like some new things they sprinkle in. My only thing I will say about this movie, which was well done, is that again, they give Jasmine more of like a character arc in this movie, and she gets her own song in this movie called Speechless, which is actually a really good song. And I will admit though, for this movie, they chose, even though it had like the worst casting choice for the genie, I think they did a fantastic casting choice for Jasmine, who she is played by Naomi Scott, who can one actually sing, and then she actually fits like the the demographic, like the race. I'm not gonna get too into it, in case it comes back to bite me in the butt later in life, but pretty much yeah. And what's the word? And the Speechless song, absolute gas. Like, that shit is fire. Absolute fire. But that would be, I would say that's like a positive of this movie. It's still not enough to make me want to rewatch it, but I do think that was very well done. Love that. And they kind of give like Jafar a backstory, which realistically I don't care. But they pretty much like, oh yeah, I used to be a street rat too. I'm like, I don't give a flying fuck, Jafar. I don't care. We do not care. But yeah. But for the most part, the movie does follow the original. One of the differences too is that like Genie falls in love with this girl who's like Jasmine's right hand or whatever the fuck, And then at the end, it's him retelling this story to his kids that he has with her, which is like I wasn't a really big fan of that. But again, for the most part, I'm not really a big fan of this movie. So, yeah, that's pretty much my 2 cents about the movie. I'm not a big fan. For the most part, it is it's one for one, like, basically following the plot and everything from the original, but there are little differences where, again, the one with Jasmine I think is very good and well done, but otherwise, I'm not a fan of this movie. Not a fan. I prefer the original. But don't we all? Alright, y'all. This is gonna be the first one. Yeah, no. I cannot stand this movie. I absolutely no. Back to what I was saying earlier with the Jungle Book is that when you do a live action movie with animals, it just don't hit the same like it does with animation. Because again, with real life animals, you can't really give them like the facial expressions like how you can do it in animation. So, granted, animals can't make facial expressions like people. That's what animation is for. So, you know, during the scene where Mufasa dies, he's like, Dad, get up, Dad. Dad. Let me stop. But yeah, like, no. Just no. My only thing, it's not the saving grace of the movie, but it's a good thing they did for this movie, is that they got the original voice actor for Mufasa to reprise his role in this movie. Otherwise, no. I hate this movie. You know what? I'm gonna look up Be Prepared, because that song's a banger, right? But let's see. The Lion King, live action. Be Prepared. Let's see how this looks, because I bet you not as good as the original. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. They massacred my boy. Nothing beats the original. Indeedly do. Let's see. Like, look at that, bro! Like, no facial expressions.
You fools have stripped your land of every living thing. And yet I send 2 little cubs your way, and they come back alive.
What the?
I guess we'll have to eat you instead.
Why eat one meal
When you can
when
have
you can be
thousands.
feasting the rest of your lives?
What could you possibly offer us?
Like,
The
look
place where
at
you
that,
can fill
man.
your bellies, where everything the light touches is yours.
Kingdom. Oh,
for the
never mind.
kill.
The Prightlands are not
Okay,
yours.
can I get to the fucking
Drink
song?
when it comes to hunting.
Is there no song?
Which means that hyenas must do. My vision is clear and wide-ranging, and even encompasses you. So prepare for the coup of the century. Prepare for the murkiest scam.
Ha ha ha! Oh wait, that's not here!
Meticulous planning, tenacity spanning, decades of denial is simply why I'll be king! Undisputed, respected, saluted, and seen for the wonder I am! Yes, my teeth and ambitions are bared. Be prepared.
Need I say more? 'Cause what was that? No! Absolutely no. It's worse than I fucking remember. 'Cause oh my god. That was absolutely, positively awful. And again, what's the word? Like I'm saying, it's with these animal movies, man. Specifically more so with the animal movies. Is like you just can't do it, bro, because granted just no. Like no. Like again, from what y'all just saw, need I say more? Like awful. Absolutely disgusting. And again, you know, like, what's the word? You know, like, again, that scene, you know, like, respected, saluted, and seen for the wonder I am. Yes, our teeth and ambitions are bared. Be prepared. No. Homie's like, be prepared. No, absolutely not. Absolute garbage. I fucking hate this movie, and I hate that they made another one after this about Mufasa. I'm like, don't even get me started on that movie. I haven't seen it, but from what I've seen, like the reviews, no, absolutely not. Absolute garbage. But we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. All right, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. I'm gonna have to put this down. Not gonna lie. Actually, you know what? I don't know. Actually. You know what? No, it's actually going to be a D. The D for me. Because, again, when they released the trailer for this movie, I'm out here thinking, okay, we're going to redeem ourselves for the first movie. It's called Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. She's just really going to be doing some evil shit. All right, cool. Let's go. Nope. Nope. She is still the hero at the end of the movie. Now, I still enjoy the movie. Again, I would watch it. It's just, again, like, why are you gonna... Oh, I hope you're having fun. But why, again, you gonna make me think that Maleficent's actually gonna be evil when in reality, no, she's not. And the villain is some queen. Is the queen of, basically Prince Philip, which is like Aurora's love interest. You know, the prince, haha. His mother, the queen, is the fucking villain of this movie. And don't even get me started. Like, I don't know if y'all have ever seen Game of Thrones. I haven't really, but you know the infamous Red Wedding. Spoilers, obviously, if you haven't watched that show. Grant has been out for years, so that's on you. But they pretty much have a Red Wedding-esque scene in that fucking movie, and I'm sitting here like, what am I watching? Like, Grant, again, I would say it's, for me, it's a guilty pleasure movie. Like, I'll watch it. I know it's bad, but I'm still down to watch this shit. You know, it's kind of like, you know, like the old Disney movies, like Camp Rock. Y'all remember? There's like, you know, like when she's playing on the fucking like keyboard piano shit, and then, you know, Demi Lovato is like, she's really good. You know, like that cringe ass shit we used to watch back in the day. But like, you know, this is modern, so this is even fucking worse. But yeah, no. Again, I like the relationship she has with Aurora. Again, it's a guilty pleasure movie for me. Because I know, like, realistically, it's like, what the hell is this? Because, again, when I think of Maleficent, I'm not thinking of her bonding with Aurora. I'm thinking of her wanting that bitch dead. And turning into a fucking dragon. Oh, I just now remembered that. I can't believe I didn't mention it earlier. In the original Maleficent movie, she doesn't even turn into a dragon. She turns the crow into a damn dragon. But they rectify that in this movie. She turns into a dragon in this movie. Like, but I digress. But yeah, it's a guilty pleasure movie. It's bad realistically, but it's a guilty pleasure. Like, I'll watch it. Anyway, Lady and the Tramp, I haven't seen it. I heard though that, like, again, I don't know why they keep doing these in these live action movies, but they like gender bend some of the characters in this movie. Because, you know, again, if y'all remember the original movie, which again, this shit's old as shit, but in the original movie, Lady has 2 male dog friends that obviously like are also like they live in the same neighborhood or whatever. And apparently in this movie, they change one of her friends to a girl, which is like, why? Like, who's asking for this? But whatever. Like, again, I haven't watched the movie. I don't think I ever will, because no. Mulan! Absolute garbage. I hate this movie. I watched it once just out of curiosity, but yeah, no. Absolutely not. Because, like, the whole thing with, like, the chi, and I don't think Shan Yu is even in the movie. Oh, yeah, and Mushu's not in the movie either. And, like, I know it's probably because of the fact that they didn't want to, like, make fun of, like, Chinese culture or offend anyone. And I get that. But then at that point, just don't remake the movie. Like, realistically, granted, it'd be crazy if they did this. We're never getting a Pocahontas remake. Obviously! Hold on, let me see. Mulan live action villain. Let me see. Who's the villain in this movie? Yeah. Shan Yu's not even in this movie! Okay. Cool. I'm glad to know I wasn't wrong. Shan Yu's not even in the damn movie. Oh, also, Shang isn't in the movie either. You know, her love interest, the captain, Yeah, no, he's not in this movie. Which, again, why? I can kind of understand why Mushu wasn't in the movie. Fine, whatever. But Shang? Shan Yu? What is going on? Look at that point. Just don't call it Mulan. Call it a different ass movie, because it's pretty much what we're having here. Like, no. And again, the whole thing with the chi, like, why? She can't just be naturally strong on her fucking own, like she ended up being in the movie, in the original. I don't even think Little Brother's in this movie either. If y'all know who Little Brother is, the dog. I don't think he's in this movie either. Not that I remember. But I'm not going to look it up because I don't feel like it. But yeah, no, like, what the hell were they on? Like, again, like, granted, if you guys didn't want to offend, like, Chinese culture and shit, which understandably so, why make this movie? Like, realistically, like, I didn't need this. Didn't need this movie. I didn't need a live-action Mulan. I don't know who thought it was a good idea at Disney, and then making all these changes. And again, I can understand why they didn't want to include Mushu. Fine, whatever. But to get rid of the main villain and the love interest, absolutely insane. Like, no. Like, absolutely no. I hate this movie. They also give her a sister, too, in this movie, which is like, why? But I'm not even gonna get into it. Cruella. Dog, when I tell you, out of all these live-action movies, Cruella was a good-ass movie. And you know what it actually does, you know? It does what Maleficent should have done. It keeps her a villain at the end of the movie, but you're also rooting for her and seeing things from her point of view, and it gives you a backstory, which again leads you to be like, yeah, I can understand why she became the way she was. Yeah! And sticks to that. Good ass movie. It is a movie I will willingly rewatch, no problem. It is so well done, and like the scenes and stuff, I don't know if you guys ever seen it like on your Instagram reels, maybe even TikTok. I wouldn't know, I don't have TikTok, but like they'll show like certain scenes of this movie, and again, they're so well done. Everything about this movie is just I don't know who was in the studio that day making this movie and decided, you know what, let's make everything good. And like, there are little things, again, from 101 Dalmatians that they sprinkle in there, obviously, because, you know, yeah, like Anita, which is the you know, the lady in the movie that works for Cruella. In the original, again, granted, I've never watched 101 Dalmatians, not gonna lie, but Anita is in the movie, and she ends up being like a kind of like an old school friend that Cruella had when she was younger. They also made her black, but you know, I have no issues with that. I have no issues with the whole them changing the race thing. Like, I personally don't have an issue with that. But yeah, and the other guy, I forget his name, but the other guy that owns Pongo, you know, like the male Dalmatian, that guy, he's also in this movie, and I think they made him Indian. Don't quote me on it. But they also make him a different race as well. But yeah, he's also in there. He's like a lawyer or whatever. I think that's what he was in the original. Don't quote me on it. I wouldn't know, because again, I have not watched 101 Dalmatians. I should rectify that. It's like with The Sword and the Stone. I haven't watched that either. But yeah. Well, very well done, personally, in my opinion. It's everything about this movie is so well done. And the villain of the movie, I love the fashion aspect of it. I also felt more like adult-like. Exactly. Like, it was so well done. Absolutely phenomenal. And then the twist of the movie. Never would have seen that shit coming. Like, absolutely phenomenal. 10 out of 10. You never see like those memes, like, absolute cinema. Because this was so well done. And I wish they would do this more with movies. Like, if they ever decide to make another villain movie, like villain live action movie that involves like their origin story and how they became the villain that we know, I hope that they take notes from this movie, because again, so well done. I heard they want to make a sequel. I hope it's not true, because I feel like if they make a sequel, they might butcher it. But again, if it's by the same people who made the first movie, let's hope it's in good hands, you know? But yeah, that's all I really got to say about that. Pinocchio. So I've actually watched this. I'm gonna put it at D, because for the most part, it's basically what's the word, like basically frame by frame from the original. I don't remember if they had like the creepy ass donkey scene that they had in the original movie, but for the most part, it's pretty much like frame by frame from the original, just live action. Yeah, there's not really much for me to say about it. I watched it once and that was it. What's the word? But interestingly enough, though, in this movie, if y'all have ever watched Wicked, you know, the one with Ariana Grande and Cynthia, I forget her last name. The Cynthia chick plays the Blue Fairy, which is pretty funny. Not funny, but like, you know, that's interesting. I completely forgot about it until like it came up on my feed, and I was like, oh, I forgot she was in this movie. Yeah. But otherwise, I don't really have much to say. I low-key want to rewatch. I'm telling you, bro, like this is a movie where I'm always down to rewatch. Like, be like, you want to put Crow on? Fuck yeah. Run it up. But yeah. But I don't have much to say about Pinocchio, because again, it's pretty much just, again, like the original movie but live action. Pretty much. I don't remember the changes in this movie, because again, I only watched it one time. And maybe they weren't that, like, you know, they weren't that major for me to notice. But yeah, that's it. I don't really got much else to say about Pinocchio. Peter Pan and Wendy. Now, I remember watching this movie. I'm putting it at D. It was a movie, and I don't want to say anything that's too offensive, but there's a major thing in this movie. I would say, what's the word? This was an inclusive movie, because again, the Lost Boys. One of the Lost Boys has Down syndrome. That's all I'm gonna say about it, because again, don't want to risk this coming back to bite me later on. But yeah, that's a one thing I remember about this movie. And then like I think about this movie too is that like what's the word? They make like Peter Pan and Hook actually have like a relationship, not like lovers, but you know, they used to be friends, but then Hook as a child wanted to go back home to see like his mom or whatever, and Peter was like, "Oh, like like whatever." Like pretty much like bashed on him for it, and he went, but I don't think he ever found his mom, so he came back as an adult, you know, and was after Peter Pan because, you know, he was like a fucking an asshole friend because he just wanted to go see his fucking mom. I remember too, like, it's like this one girl from the original movie, I forget her name, but she was like part of like, you know, I was about to say Indians, but I'm like, no, that's not what you say. Part of the Native Americans. That, I don't know if y'all remember the original, the offensive original movie. I think her name was Tiger Lily. There we go. I just remembered it. But Tiger Lily's also in this movie, and she's like an actual like she really helps out a lot in the movie. But otherwise, I don't remember too. That's like the only main things I remember about the movie, like obviously the differences. But yeah, that's it. I don't really have much else to say about it. It's a movie, like, yeah, that's it. Like, I don't have much else to say about it. Like, yeah. Yeah, no, that's it. I don't really got anything else to say. That's pretty much it. Especially, like, this was a Disney Plus movie. This wasn't a theater movie. I think same thing with Pinocchio. But yeah, it's like, I don't really got anything else to say. The Little Mermaid. Now, before y'all come for me, no, it's not because they changed the main actress to be black. No, it's not because of that, alright? Just want to make sure. I'm not racist. I don't care about that. I don't care that they chose the main actress to be black. I don't care. Realistically, I do not care. Like, whatever. Again, at least she can sing, so that's a major thing too, is like, at least they chose someone who can fucking sing. Which is, again, the major issue I had with Beauty and the Beast. I digress. There's a lot of changes they make in this movie that I just, like, no. Like, no. I watched this in theaters, actually. And I regret it. But, there's a lot of changes, again, they do in this movie that I do not agree with. One is that her sisters are all also different races, which, like, you know, begs the question, King Triton, was you fucking multiple bitches? Cause what's going on here? Another thing is that, what's the word? They all live in, like, different oceans. Like, they all don't live together, which is, like, why? Like, why was, like, this plot changed? Because and they also, like, this one I don't really care for. Like, I feel like it adds more to Ursula's character, which I don't mind, where she's actually related to King Triton. Like, she's, like, that's her brother. I loved the wardrobe of the Little Mermaid when she was an adult. What do you mean, like, in the second movie? Like, in the animation? I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, that was an interesting aspect that they introduced for this movie. Like, was it King Triton being Ursula's brother? Like, them being siblings. Like, that, I will admit, was, like, a change I didn't mind. Like, that's, like, okay, all right. Like, that's interesting. I don't mind. And again, we're going back to the animal thing, which is evident in The Lion King and in The Jungle Book. You guys can't do live action animals. Because, again, Flounder looks disgusting. And, like, again, granted, you know, it's a real life fucking fish. So, yeah, obviously, he ain't gonna look cute like he did in the animation. But that's, again, my issue with these movies that involve animals. Is that the animals are not gonna look cute and fuzzy like they do in the goddamn animation. That's the issue I have with these goddamn movies. Sebastian also looks awful, like, personally. And then another, I would say one of my major irks of this movie is goddamn Scuttle. Now, if y'all don't remember who Scuttle is, he was the seagull that Ariel would go to, like, ask questions about, like, these interesting, you know, the, look at this stuff, isn't it neat? You know, that shit. And then she would go to ask Scuttle, like, yo, dog, what is this? And then, you know, the whole dingle hopper bullshit, you know, like, hey, yeah, you put it through your hair. Which is actually a fucking fork. But they changed Scuttle to a girl. And is voiced by Awkwafina. If y'all don't know who Awkwafina is, you're very lucky. No, I'm playing. I got nothing against Awkwafina. Personally, I think she does well in actual live action roles. Like, not voicing a character. I think she does better as an actor, as an actress, not as a voice actress. Personally, in my opinion. I liked her in Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings, or whatever the hell that movie was called. I think she does well in that movie. No. Just no. I no, especially that one scene when like they're waking up Ariel to like, oh, the prince is gonna propose or whatever the fuck. I forget. But like where she has that whole ass rap segment and I'm like, why? Who like actually like I want to rip my ears off because why the hell? Who thought this was a good idea? Scuttle does not have a song in the original movie. Who is out here? You know what we need? Scuttle, aka Aquafina, having a whole rap song. Like, no. Like, absolutely no. Because who in their right mind thought this was a good idea? Like, absolutely no. Hated it. Absolutely hated it. Another thing too, another change in this movie is that Prince Eric is actually adopted. I don't know, his adoptive parents are black, and he is not. And nothing wrong with that. It's just why, like, again, it's like the choice with like her sisters being from different oceans and being different races. It's like they could be different races, no problem. Like I'm still gonna question it, but like them also being from different oceans and they don't see each other that often. Like, why? Why? That's basically how I feel about this choice. Granted, again, it's nothing. It's not nothing bad. It's just like, why? Like, because in the original movie, you don't even see his parents. Like, we don't know if there's any parents to be spoken of. But whatever. I will admit though, like the new song that they put in not the goddamn rap, but the new song they put in this movie for Ariel, like when she's like first exploring like the land and shit. I don't remember the song, but it was a good song, like a good new song for the movie. I don't mind it. It was pretty good. And then her actually like bonding with Prince, like with Eric. Like that one scene, like when they're in like his like room with like the different shiz, and she like breaks open that shit. He's like, wait, no. But like being like, oh yeah, I actually has shit in here, and like them kind of bonding and shit, like kind of ish getting to know each other. I don't remember it too well because I only watched this movie one time. But it's kind of like with Cinderella, again, getting to actually know the person instead of it just being like, oh, I saw you at first sight and now I'm in love with you. Like that type of thing. Like, I didn't mind. It was pretty good. Otherwise, though, it is pretty much, besides obviously the little changes, it is pretty much like, again, the live action movie. Just, I mean, the original animation, just, little differences here and there. But, yeah, otherwise, though, it's like, again, the whole Aquafina being Scuttle and that whole rap scene. And, again, the animals, like, again, like I said, the animals, live action animals just don't work because of the fact that, again, they can't convey the emotions like they can in animation. So, otherwise, yeah, no. Like, hell no. Movie sucked. I hated it. Especially, again, that rap scene with Aquafina. Fuck no. Mufasa! Now, I didn't watch this movie, so we're gonna put it there. But, y'all. When I tell you, like from the reviews that I've seen, absolute garbage. And yeah, I don't know if y'all remember the goddamn memes and like the trailers. What'd you say about my brother? Like, no. Just no. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But another thing about this movie is that Scar and Mufasa are not even biological brothers. I didn't know I was watching Brother Bear. Because why? Why did they feel the need to make that choice in this movie? I feel like the movie would have worked just as well if they were biological brothers. Because you got me fucked up. no. Like, it's just, I don't see the reason as to why they needed to do that. Like, why change that? Again, granted, it's not confirmed that they're blood brothers in the original, but obviously you would assume because of the fact that, yeah, you're my brother, and, Scar being like, oh, I was supposed to be next in line for king, but they chose you or whatever because I'm the younger brother or whatever. I don't remember the specifics. Again, it's been a long while since I've seen the original movie, but that's one of my major irks about this movie. But then again, it's also, again, the live action animals, and you can't convey emotions well with live action animals like you can in animation. I would have preferred like an animation movie about Mufasa's, origins. Yeah, I'm down for that shit. I would have been down for animation. Granted, would I still be annoyed about the whole, like, they changed the biological brother aspect to it? Sure, I would still be annoyed, but, I feel like, again, this would have worked better if it was an animation movie. But I digress. Again, granted, I've only, heard, I haven't seen, and I don't think I will ever go out of my way to see this movie. Because, no. And from what I've heard of the plot, no. I'm good. Especially, too, like, spoilers for the movie, if y'all even care. But there's, like, this, like, was it Scar, or, like, I think his name was, like, damn, I forgot what his original name. He has an original name, actually. It's not Scar, which is also like a why, but whatever. I think his original name is Taka, if I'm remembering correctly. And he like betrays them or whatever because like he's jealous of Mufasa. And then like when they're about to kill Mufasa, Scar gets in the way, gets his iconic scar in the process. Ha ha. And he's like, "No, please don't, not my brother." And whatever, right? And obviously the movie ends with, him becoming king of Pride Rock and all that shit. And he's like, "I'm sorry for what I did. I know I can't, take it back, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "I'll still have you here." But he's like, "Call me Scar." I'm like, oh my god, this stupid ass shit. And then, again, obviously later it leads into, obviously the plot of the Lion King. But it's like, you sacrificed, well, not really, but you got in the way of them them about to kill Mufasa, and then later on you just end up doing it yourself anyway. Like, granted, you can make the argument like, well, he had years of resentment, like, I guess, but like, but whatever, man. It's, again, I'm never watching this movie. So Snow White. So I actually haven't seen this movie either. And I think I said it earlier, I don't remember. I do actually have interest in watching this movie, but I want to watch it with friends because I want to, like, we all make fun of the movie together. But, obviously it was a big controversy when the movie was coming out with Rachel Zegler, who is, Snow White. And, a big thing, again, I'm not racist, I promise, but her name is Snow White. And the whole reason her name is Snow White is because her skin is white as snow. I mean, granted, I will say, Rachel Zegler can sing. So, at least there's that. And I think they change in the movie. They change the reasoning why her name is Snow White. Which I'm just like, okay. It's whatever at this point. God, it's nothing against her being, Latina. I think she's Latina. Don't quote me on it. Don't quote me on it. I don't know. But yeah, it's nothing against her. It's just, you realistically know, I'm watching a movie about Snow White. I'm thinking, again, she's going to be white because, again, the whole reason her name is Snow White is because her skin is white as snow. But, whatever. But also the whole controversy, again, with Rachel Zegler in the interviews and, it being like, oh, well, this isn't going to be, we're not in the 19 whatevers anymore, we're not gonna have the prince kissing her dead corpse, you know, like she's gonna fight for what she believes in to protect her kingdom and be the leader that she knows she can be. I'm like, what? That was not in the original. Like, her fighting for the kingdom? Like, the fuck? Again, I haven't watched the movie, so I don't know. But also another thing is that the actress that they chose for the evil queen, if y'all have seen her previous acting work, her acting comes out very flat and not really great. If y'all have not seen the scenes, look it up, because oh my god. But yeah, Gal Gadot, I think that's her fucking name. I know her first name is Gal, 100%. She also played Wonder Woman in the original, not the original. She played Wonder Woman in the live action Wonder Woman movies, which, again, for the scenes I've seen, they're not good. But yeah, they chose her for the evil queen, which I feel like personally, not a good act. Like, Rachel Zegler's whatever, and again, I would say again, she can sing, so that's like, I don't have that major of a complaint. Also, but again, besides the fact that, again, with the whole race changes in like certain other movies, it's not that big of a deal, because, you know, yeah, whatever. I know in the original animation they're mostly like white, but like, to me it doesn't matter. This one is a little different just because of the fact that, again, her name is Snow White, and again, in the original, the whole reasoning behind her name is because of her skin color, you know? So, but again, nothing with racism, I swear, it's just like, whatever. But for my main thing is, though, again, Rachel Zegler can sing, so that's not much of an issue. Like, I'll let it pass as whatever. But again, Gal Gadot, I do not think was a good acting choice. Like realistically, no. And I've seen some of the scenes where like she's screaming as the evil queen, and it's really laughable, which, you know, it's not supposed to be. I mean, granted, the whole movie's probably gonna make me laugh, but yeah. But like with the scene you're trying to convey and like in being serious and threatening, meanwhile I'm dying of laughter. Like, yeah, no. And then another plot point they changed in this movie is that, what's the word? No prince! No prince. It's just this random ass, thief guy, bandit, whatever the hell. I don't know the specifics because I just know it's not the prince. But this random ass, like, thief guy that she meets, and his name is Jonathan. Yeah. Why? Again, I mean, granted, at least they still have the love in. It's like, well, with Mulan, she does have a love interest, but it's not Shang. It's just some random other guy that's also is a warrior in the war. You know, it's like, okay, whatever. Like, I guess she still kind of has her love interest, I guess. But again, in this movie, again, at least if they would have completely like removed like the love interest, that would have like irked my buttons. Like, that would have grinded my gears, because I would have been like, what the fuck? I would have actually been upset if they would have done that. I'm glad they didn't, but again, it's still the thing, like, they changed. It's not the prince anymore, it's just some random ass dude. I'm like, okay, whatever, I guess. Again, I haven't watched the movie, but I do want to watch this movie, especially too, like, I don't know, this movie's like, out of all the live actions, especially like the ones I haven't seen, this is the only one like that interests me. Also, just because, again, of like the bad reviews and shit that I got. But I'm just like interested. And there's also like new songs in the movie, apparently. Like, there's like the one that Rachel Zegler sings. So instead of like the I'm wishing for the one I love to find me today. Instead is this new song called I'm Waiting on a Wish. I don't know the rest, because again, I haven't heard the song, but they changed that song. At least, like, granted, it's not like the wishing for true love, it's something different, but at least they still like kept the wish aspect with it. But otherwise, yeah, no. Because again, this Snow White is like, she's not waiting for true love or whatever. She just wants to improve the kingdom, which I'm like, like, my thing is, y'all could have made an entirely new Disney princess with this plot. You guys didn't need to pretty much just make a whole new Snow White for this. I would have been down if y'all would have just made a new Disney princess movie with this plot implemented. I wouldn't have minded. But it's the fact that they try to do this with Snow White, which is this, no. Like, come on, man. What are you doing? But whatever. There's also this other song in the movie, which I've seen like an animatic of with the Amazing Digital Circus, which I think the song is actually really good. I can't stop watching it because I low-key like the song. It's called Princess Problems, where it's like Snow White singing with the Jonathan dude. And it's actually not that bad of a song. And I like the whole like enemies to lovers thing they have pretty much going on, I guess. But again, I feel like I stated previously, if it would have been implemented into a new movie with a whole new character and all that schmiz, a whole new Disney princess, yeah, that would have been fine. It's just the fact that, again, y'all are trying to do this with Snow White. Snow White! The one who gets, she runs into that forest and is scared of all the trees. Like, realistically, but whatever. But yeah, it's, the Princess Problem song seems interesting. I also saw like a clip or like a picture of like when the evil queen turns into the old lady to give, Snow White the apple. It did not look good. Like the old lady, like I don't know if they put someone in makeup or whatever, or like they actually used an old lady. But yeah, it looks so bad. Like, oh my god. Let me see if I can find it, actually. Let's see. Snow White live action. Evil Queen old. Oh, let's see. Let's see how it looks. Evil Queen transform using it to make special effects. Okay, they actually use Gal Gadot. Now, y'all look at that. Need I say more? It looks so bad. Yeah. No. Just no. Another thing too, like another thing again that people probably also had an issue with is that the dwarves. I think originally, I don't know if it is called just Snow White. I don't know if they put 7 dwarves in the title. I don't remember. Like in this one, not the original. But I remember at one point it was going to be like, oh, Snow White and the 7 magical creatures. It's like, what the fuck? I think they went back on that, obviously. And they stuck with the dwarves. But they are CGI. They didn't get actual dwarf actors. Why? Like, I understand how it could be offensive, but like, if they're cool with it, why not? And I think, like, I remember that was a big complaint, because like, y'all pretty much like took away, because dwarf actors, I don't think they can get that many roles because of obviously, yeah. So like, why would y'all take away the opportunity for them to like be able to get a role in this movie? But yeah, it's just like, I found that also really dumb, because like, why? And instead y'all choose CGI. Another thing too about this movie that I remember seeing, Dopey talks. Why? The whole charming thing and like we all liked about his character, one of his like the major things that he didn't talk. I remember there's a scene where he talks in this movie. And it's like, why? It's like with Crash Bandicoot. And they did do that. In like the Skylanders show they had on Netflix, they had him talk. And I'm like, why? My man's is not supposed to talk. Why? And that's another thing about this movie that's also like, what the fuck? You know what we should do in this movie? Make Dopey talk. No, absolutely not. Like, no. And again, I haven't watched the movie yet, so I can't really make all the judgments. But it probably will be in either the F or the absolute garbage tier, because what the fuck? But again, I haven't seen it, so I can't make that judgment. Anyway, last movie, Lilo and Stitch. It's either D or C for me, not gonna lie to you guys. I'm gonna put it at D. Now, when I went to go watch this movie in theaters, I didn't think it was too bad. But there is a lot of changes that are done in this movie that are pretty bad. Obviously, the major one that everyone talked about when this movie came out is that, like, oh, Ohana means abandoning your sister in foster care and going to college in a different state. It's not as extreme as people made it out to be. Because she doesn't really abandon her. She leaves her with the neighbor. Granted, it's still, not great, but I don't know why they thought to implement this into the movie, especially again when the movie's message is about family, but yeah, I don't understand why they thought that was a good idea to implement into this movie, but whatever. But yeah, but pretty much, like, again, Nani wants to go to college, and it's to study marine biology or whatever in California. And that's another thing people were talking about with this movie too. It's like, she's going to California to go to college for marine biology when she lives in Hawaii. That's like if I lived in France and I wanted to go to abroad to study about France or whatever. Like, and my major thing about this movie, like, that I personally am not a fan of, is the fact that they got rid of Gontu. And if y'all don't remember who Gontu is, he is the villain in the original movie. The big guy, and he has like 4 eyes or whatever, and like, he captures Lilo, and then they have to fight to get her back. Yeah, he's not in the movie. And you know who they decided to make the villain instead? Jumba. Which is like, why? Of all the possible solutions y'all could have come up with, y'all thought, oh, you know how Jumba learns to live with them and helps them out at the end of the movie? Nah, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna make him the villain. And you know another thing about Jumba? He doesn't have the accent like he does in the original. He has like a regular ass American voice, which is like, why? Just why? Like, y'all could have like replaced Gontu with like some random ass alien, or even if y'all couldn't like deal with the CGI with a giant ass alien, y'all could have made it Gontu regular size. Like, people still would have complained, yes, but I think that would have been a better alternative than the bullshit that they gave us, which is Jumba being the fucking villain. Because, like, what? It's so dumb. And then their human disguises being actually, transforming kind of ish into actual humans. instead of like the little funny disguises that they wore in the movie, in the original movie. Now, granted, you can make the argument like, oh, well, the funny disguises wouldn't work with live action aliens or whatever because, you can obviously tell they're not people. Fine, sure, whatever. But it's, again, you're missing the charm of the original here by doing that. Also, Pleakley doesn't dress as a girl like he does in the original, which I can kind of get why they didn't do that. But Pleakley acts very flamboyant in this movie. So, yeah. Yeah. I digress. But for the most part, though, again, they also do get Stitch's original voice actor to reprise his role in this movie, which I do think that's a 10 out of 10 IGN, like that part. And for the most part, like, Stitch bonding with Lilo and like how it is in the original is very heartwarming to see. Love it a lot. Another thing about this movie, though, that I do have a gripe with is that, like, Nani is very much so, like, harsher in this movie. Like, there's this one part where in the original, like, obviously, like, the scene plays out where, like, Stitch ends up getting Nani fired from her job at, like, the hula spot. And in the original movie, when they're going home, Lilo asks Nani, like, hey, are me and Stitch the reason why you ended up getting fired? And Nani, like, not wanting to place that burden upon Lilo and, make her think it's her fault, she's like, nah, the owner was a vampire and he wanted me to join his Legion of the Undead. And Lilo's like, I knew it. But, like, obviously not wanting Lilo to feel bad, as a good adult / sister should do. They did not do that for this movie. Cause, during that part, Nani's like, yeah, it is your fault that I lost my job, like, blah, 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 blah. And then she's like, pretty much like, Lilo, like, can't you just live in the real world for like 2 seconds or some shit? Like, something along those lines. And it's like, Lilo is a child. She's like 8 years old. And again, she had just lost her parents. And, like, granted, I know Nani did too. But it's just, like, I don't like how that scene was handled in the live action movie. Because, like, why? Why? But I digress. It's, I wouldn't watch it again. But for what, like, the movie theater experience of watching the movie, I didn't mind it. But again, there is, like, the major differences that they do in this movie, which I don't think was handled well. Like, no. Like, ugh. Like, no. And they are making a sequel, though, so it's like, will they follow the plot of Stitch Has a Glitch? I don't know, but I guess we'll have to see. My major irk about this movie is the whole thing with Gontu and making Jumba the villain instead. Like, of all the choices y'all could have chosen, that was, like, the worst one. Because, again, if y'all didn't want Gontu, y'all could just replace it with some random-ass alien. I would not have cared. I would have cared a little bit, obviously, but, like, it's not as bad as, again, the what they gave us, It would have been a better alternative had they chosen to just, like, make the villain some random-ass alien or make Gontu, like, regular size. Like, either of those would have been better than making Jumba the villain, because absolutely not. I absolutely hate it. And then, again, at the end of this movie, Nani ends up going to college in California, but she has, like, this portal gun thingy to go visit Lilo, so it's not that bad. But it's still, like, why? Why choose this route for the movie, especially when the whole thing is Ohana? No one ever gets left behind or forgotten. And it's like, y'all clearly missed the message of the fucking original movie, but whatever. But yeah. But, y'all, that is pretty much my 2 cents on most of these live-action remakes. Moana just came out this month, but from what I've seen, it actually looks garbage, and I do not think I will be going out of my way to watch that movie, because, no! But, yeah, that's pretty much it. These are my rankings. Again, only one in the S tier, which, yeah, is, like, a lot to say about this. But, again, Cruella, I believe, is, like, one of the best they could have done. And if they do make a sequel, I hope they do stay with the same people who made the first one, because I am scared for what they would do for a sequel. Unless, again, I would hope it wouldn't be like a Maleficent 2. But for the most part, y'all, that's pretty much my rankings on these movies. Again, I still need to watch Snow White because I'm really interested. I might bite the bullet eventually and just watch it on my own, but I do want to watch it with friends just for the lulz. But for the most part, that's pretty much my tier list, y'all. Tell me your opinions on your live action remakes bullshit. You know, they also announced the Princess and the Frog remake, and the Tangled one is also filming currently. We got more bad remakes on the way. But for the most part, y'all, this is it for now. Until, you know, we get the more slop that Disney is giving us, unfortunately. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. If you joined, you know, I appreciate y'all for being here. If you did join the stream, and if you're watching after the fact, yeah, tell me in the comments what you would rank these. Again, Cruella is really good though, won't lie. But for the most part, yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video.